why we think we like to drink. Here we are again. Tonight I've got cranberry juice mixed with a other berry red juice that I got on sale. It was meant to be. Things taste better when they're on sale. And do you know what I did today? I actually been meaning to reorganize my bookshelf for a while because it's always annoyed me how messy it is at the back of my videos. So, look, I'm being productive. Hey, getting affected already. Does it look better? Let me know. Have a look at the other video, have a look at this one. Reorganized it. So, let's get into it. When I was buying my juice, I was thinking about what we were talking about yesterday. I was like, what drink am I going to enjoy tonight? And I went and got it, and I was like, and what snacks am I going to enjoy tonight? So, it's helping. It's helping. So, are you doing the same thing? What are you drinking right now? Have a drink together. Start with a quote from Karen Salmonson. True happiness comes from gaining insight and growing into your best possible self. Otherwise, all you're having is immediate gratification pleasure, which is fleeting and doesn't grow you as a person. That's like the Stoic quotes that I'm reading about doing what's best for future you, not for current me who wants to go down to the bottle shop. No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to say, I'm choosing and I am loving this one. Clearly, we must like drinking. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it, right? At least in the beginning, we liked it. Right now, you might be struggling with how much you actually hate the after effects. But there's no denying that the first drink feels good. Yeah. Before we can unpack all the complicated pieces of this alcohol puzzle, it's important to understand what's actually happening in the brain when we drink. So I'm out with friends and I order a glass of wine, not my cranberry juice, and I've had a hard day at work. And I'm looking forward to relaxing and laughing with the people I love. That first makes me feel giggly. Giggly little girl. Thanks, Annie, you giggler. And there's a little rush of euphoria that makes me feel good, maybe for the first time all day. What's happening is that the wine artificially stimulates the area of my brain called the nucleus accumbens, or as you and me probably know it as, the pleasure center. The chemicals responsible for euphoria are endorphins, not dolphins. Silly, they're endorphins. The same chemicals responsible for the good feelings when you exercise. Yeah, we'll do this first and then maybe I'll try and get those dolphins going with exercise. Dopamine and serotonin. They're the two main chemicals that work in the pleasure center. Dopamine, which is responsible for desire and craving, and serotonin, which is responsible for the feelings of satiety, and inhibition. In a healthy brain, there's a delicate balance between the two. Keep them balanced. But alcohol throws it all out of balance. And so, as I'm drinking that glass of wine, lots of dopamine gets dumped into the system, making me want more of what gave me pleasure. I want more of that, which is alcohol. Since the pleasure center has been artificially stimulated from that outside substance, my brain seeks to regain the correct balance. Bloody hell, let's balance this thing out. So it sends out a chemical downer called Donorphin. Donorphin? This actually suppresses my feelings of euphoria. So your brain's like, slow down, you giggly Gertie. And as the effects of the first glass start to wear off, my sense of well-being, the well-being actually falls below where it was when I started drinking. That means actually I'm lower than when I got off work after a hard day. That's a bummer. The dopamine is still working though, and it makes me crave more. So the dopamine's saying, give me more dopamine. And your brain's like, calm down, man. Give him downer. I guess that's why they say alcohol's a depressant. So there you go. I don't know. She'll probably say that. And unwanted effect is that in order to combat the depressant effects, she's writing this as I'm saying this video. The depressant effects of alcohol, my body counteracts the alcohol by releasing things like adrenaline or cortisol. And you may have heard of cortisol. Have you? I've heard of it, but it's also known as the stress hormone. So now in my body's attempt to maintain homeostasis, to combat the alcohol, I am lower than when I started. Crazy. In other words, and here's the other words on the page. Now I've lost my space. In other words, there they are. I found the words again. I now have to cross an even bigger gap to get above the baseline of pleasure. And that's miserable. Even worse though, is that the alcohol is starting to affect other areas of the brain. Eventually, I might slur my speech, perhaps my vision. Where'd you go? I feel detached from reality. Ooh, what is reality? I convince myself that this is a welcome break from the real world. The slurring, blurry. Yeah, that's probably when I'm like, yeah, let's just chill here and life is, I don't care about anything. I want to get another drink. The cycle continues. The drinking, yes, it continues. And I get more and more drunk. What was at first a nice tipsy feeling is now completely out of control. But I don't care because my brain isn't processing the long-term meanings and implications of my behavior. Eventually, if I'm drinking a lot, it's been slowed down so much that I have to work hard to actually walk straight to try and find the restroom. Hope you get there. Do you need to go to toilet break. Press pause. My brain receptors have become numb, and my senses don't relay the information as well. And so memories aren't formed. So you're not forming memories anymore. So that's why I can't remember the end of the movie when I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this movie. I'm detached from reality, and like, yeah, I must be loving this movie, and then I can't remember how it ended. I don't completely recall the embarrassing things I say or do when I'm drunk. So you can't remember, so you can't be like, oh, I wish I didn't say that, because you didn't know you said it. I don't feel the pain I'm trying to escape. The stress from the workday does fade away a little while, but the stress actually remains when I sober up. And it's compounded by the hangover I'm suffering from. The embarrassing photos will show up on your Instagram, and my best friend won't talk to me because maybe pissed her off a bit somehow. Not sure what happened, but she's not talking. If you're listening along, you know what we're talking about. The initial rush doesn't last. The more drunk you get, the more you regret it when you sober up. Downward spiral. Whoa. And if you are like Annie, you blame yourself. That's what she says. Why can't I get it together? Why am I so weak? What's wrong with me? Okay, today, let's realize about this cycle. Has nothing to do with being strong or weak at all. It has nothing to do with being a good or bad person. And the chemical chain reaction that happens, it happens to everyone. That's how we're wired. Although we all feel the effects, we do feel them slightly differently because of our age, sex, environment, so forth, and biologically, the reactions are the same. Reflections. Some people had a reflection. Brady said, I had a situation last night that would typically send me straight to the bottle or a 6-pack of beer. I won. Go Brady. Emotional or situations is you would automatically go for like, ugh, it's just dullest feelings, dullest stress, just for tonight. But then it comes back in 2 or 3 days and just for tonight. Monica says, this is my 3rd day and already I feel like I slept better. She's sleeping better. I woke up happy that I finally committed myself mentally. It is a shift and I have a hard time explaining or putting a finger on it. I felt the shift as well. Doing this, like I mentioned, my bookcase, cleaned this room up. Set the lighting up a little bit different to try and make me look a bit better. Like she says, I should be looking better through this series. And Monica also says, I am embracing the idea that I do not need to hit rock bottom. It is hard to break that way of thinking, but I believe in my heart now that it is true. I can quit right now feel better right now and not drink again. It is that simple. An aha moment. Thanks, Monica. Penny, this is the first Saturday in as long as I can remember when I haven't woken up hungover and miserable. She's anxious, she says, which feels like a craving, but I recognize that it is because I have so much time on my hands. And what shall I do? I'm going to need to get some new hobbies. That's right, alcohol, it does cut out a huge chunk of your life. Like she was saying, you are in this weird reality while you're drunk, not remembering, not actually being here. And then when you wake up, you're dealing with the poison and your body's like, I don't want to do anything. Some people are like, hair of the dog, let's get another drink and we'll just keep going. We'll do a double one. Alcohol and sleep. She's that girl, what was her name? Monica said she was feeling like she slept better. But I sometimes think it's different for different people. We'll find out. Alcohol and sleep and the awareness of that. When I started researching this book, I sent out a survey, says Annie, asking people what their biggest fears were about giving up alcohol. I was surprised to see sleep come up high on the list. It's a huge fear for people that they won't be able to fall asleep or they won't be able to stay asleep. So, the ACT, awareness, clarity, turnaround. So that's the awareness, and the belief would be that I need alcohol to sleep. I need alcohol, like it makes me realize I need alcohol to sleep. It cocks me out. So if you're struggling with this belief, you're definitely not alone. One of my favorite authors, William Porter, who wrote Alcohol Explained, is well versed in this alcohol and the effects on sleep. And he explains this topic brilliantly. So let's dig into this belief a little deeper. Let's go digging. So the clarity will be, I'm not sure how much the media is responsible for this particular belief. There is not a lot of insomnia portrayed in the movies or on TV. However, if you've ever had a bout of sleepiness, you've had a night where you've been up, can't sleep, you know how disconcerting it can be. Yeah, sometimes I have like a 4 o'clock start the next day and I'll be up. I'm like, it's 12 o'clock. There's no time for sleep. Coffee gets me through. Sleep is critical to our mental and physical well-being. And when you can't sleep, you'll do anything to be able to. Lack of sleep has been linked to serious health problems, including cancer, heart disease, type 2, diabetes, infections, obesity. It also affects alertness, mood, and physical strength. This is because your body repairs itself while you sleep. It's also a time when your mind digests what happened during the day. It assimilates the information and often comes up with solutions to problems. Good brain, I should sleep more, come up with more solutions. So when you wake up, you feel better physically and mentally. Yeah, refreshed. That means if you've experienced alcohol helping you sleep, then this belief takes hold very quickly. Regularly, regular high quality sleep is essential for our well-being. So let's look at how sleep actually works, okay? There are two levels of sleep. REM, which is rapid eye movement. It's a good band, you should check them out, REM. And that's the deep sleep or slow wave sleep. Every night you go through several cycles of these different ones, REM, and two levels, rapid eye movement sleep and deep sleep. Okay, REM is the rapid eye movement where you're having dreams and so forth, and then you go into a deep sleep, which is a slow wave. Excellent. Glad I read that correctly. Or not. Rapid eye movement. Every night you go through that, and first you dip into, first it's the REM. And when you're a bit restless, your eyes are literally darting back and forth in your eyelids. And so that's where the name comes from. That's a light sleep, and it's crucial to your good health. Scientists don't actually know why REM is so important. Maybe I might do a little research on why REM is so important other than releasing good records. But they've done studies where rats were deprived from REM sleep and it killed them in just a few weeks. I'm just a rat in a cage. Once you cycle out of REM, you go into a deeper level of slow wave sleep. That's when your body does the repair work that needs to happen to keep you healthy. And when you're getting a good night's sleep, you go through 6 or 7 of both REM and deep. So 6 or 7. I've seen graphs where it's like woo, 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 and you sparingly try and wake up when you're up there, not down there. Otherwise, if you wake up when you're in the deep, that's when you wake and go, where am I? What day? What's this room? Is this a hotel? I'm at my friend's house. That's right. We had a box party and I'm passed out in the bathroom. So what happens when alcohol is actually introduced to this equation? Alcohol is a chemical depressant, so it reduces the natural activity in the brain. Do I actually have natural activity in my brain? Not normal, that's for sure. Normally, your brain releases a variety of chemicals and hormones at different times to help bring you back to hemostasis. As you already know, hemostasis is a delicate balance where all the systems in your body are working correctly. Balance those chakras and all correct. And when you drink, we're introducing a foreign chemical. Hello, I'm a foreign chemical. You can tell from my outrageous accent. It's a foreign chemical. And in order to reach hemostasis, your brain has to release powerful counter chemicals and stress hormones. Stress hormones to counterbalance that outrageous foreign chemical accent. Yeah, we need to depress that, that's for sure. So the cycle looks like this. You have a drink and you stimulate your pleasure center. Hey, stop stimulating your pleasure center. All right? You're supposed to be watching the video. And while the blood alcohol is rising, so when the blood alcohol is rising, that's the pleasure center. Now I got it. But as time goes on and alcohol levels start to go down, your brain knows there's a depressant in your system. So it releases stimulants. Alcohol's a depressant. So therefore it's like, well, we need to balance it out. So let's give him a bunch of stimulants like adrenaline and cortisol to bring you back up into homeostasis. Well, let's get back. Unfortunately, the depressant alcohol wears off before the stimulants do, and you're left with an overstimulated brain for hours after the drinks have worn off. It's as if you drank alcohol and a triple espresso at the same time. It's like an espresso martini. They're pretty good. But not as good as this, because I'm choosing to enjoy this tonight. I lost my page. The alcohol wears off, but the espresso is still there. That damn martini espresso. The alcohol is disrupting your sleep cycle. After you drink, you get into a deep sleep for the first 5 hours or so. That might seem great, but you don't get into REM sleep. So you just pass out. There's none of this action. It's just like a bonk, and you don't do what your body needs to do. And you need both. That's what I said. Now she's saying it. So while your body is trying to process all the chemicals in your body, your cycles are completely thrown out of whack. And you wind up with only 1 or 2 cycles of REM sleep instead of the whole 6 or 7. It's like a it should be lovely sleep. Lovely sleep. After those first 5 hours, you wake up and can't get back to sleep. Many people wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning and fret about everything they can think of. The worry and regret, they creep in. Creepy. Here he comes, Mr. Sneaky. And the negative thoughts take over your brain. And this is happening because you're overstimulated and your body chemistry is completely out of balance. Here's the thing. Any amount of alcohol will disrupt your sleep. Any amount. Oh, it doesn't matter if you have 1 drink. Oh, come on. Or you can go on a margarita binge fest. Hey, I was just talking about margaritas. Now she's bringing it up. I'm always 1 step ahead of her. You're not going to sleep well. Is that a statement? If you do this night after night, the lack of quality sleep cycles will begin to take its toll. Ooh. And there's another big problem. Here we go. When you start getting ready for bed without alcohol in your system, your body releases its own chemicals to quiet down and prepare for sleep. But when you drink regularly, you train your brain to utilize the artificial depressants in the alcohol to do the job instead. So it doesn't have to release those chemicals. And your body's like, he doesn't need them. So that means you're relying on alcohol to put you to sleep, but you still aren't rested anyway, because your natural sleep rhythms are all out of whackety whack. Paddy whack, don't come back. So what does this mean for you during this experiment? It means that for the first 2 or 5 nights of not drinking, your body may still be expecting those depressants. Cycles, chemicals, body get used to expecting things. Your brain might be confused. My brain's confused a lot of the time. So your brain might be even more confused for someone like me in the earlier days, and you could have trouble falling asleep. The worst thing you can do at that point is to have a drink to help you sleep. Because your body's getting used to the correct balance. It might seem like the right thing to do because it's worked before, but you're setting the process back. The good news is most people find they're sleeping better than ever after the 5th night. All right, so we've got to push through. So we've given your brain time to readjust itself and get the chemical release balance again. And once this happens, for the first time in years, or maybe decades, you'll start getting the rest your body desperately needs. And that's great news. While you're waiting for your brain to readjust, you can try a few tricks. A rabbit out of a hat to help. First, avoid the rabbit. No, avoid the caffeinated drinks after about noon. Caffeine. Because it affects your body for up to 10 hours. Woo! So you want it all out of your system by the time you're ready to hit that sack. The other trick, not the rabbit, is the exercise. When you get your body moving, you'll actually find you sleep much better than if you're at rest all day long. So, exercise. Tire yourself out. Well, I've got extra time now because I'm not hungover. So let's slip a bit of exercise in there to help with the sleep. We'll find out if that happens. I'll let you know. Follow me. Yeah, do you know that I'm doing a video series? Okay. You don't have to do anything extreme. No extreme sports. Just simply a walk is fine. Fresh air. Get the blood moving. If you've been drinking for a long time, you may not even notice the daily fatigue you're experiencing because of the disruption of your sleeping and your REM patterns. You may not even notice it. You may think that's normal. You might think it's because you're getting older. I'm getting old. Maybe you're always tired and you tell yourself, oh, that's just how I am. I'm a grumpy old man. We are so overworked and undernourished that fatigue has become completely normal. Let's give you and me some good news. Once you stop drinking and get your sleep regulated, that fatigue and brain fog often disappears. Completely.
Way to go. Oh, it's coming back. No, it's gone again.
But you have to get through those first few days and give your body a chance to fix itself. Let's move to the turnaround. So now that we've got clarity on, does alcohol help you sleep? Yeah. Let's turn this around. The opposite of I need alcohol to sleep is I actually don't need it to sleep. We just got some clarity on that, didn't we? Come up with as many ways as you can that the opposite is true or truer than my original belief. Well, sleep. It's good for the body. And it's good to get those cycles going. I think you should listen to some REM and before bed and get some REM. That's what I got out from this chapter. We all need some REM. Don't know what I'm talking about? Google it. REM. Band. I'm talking about bands a lot because I'm a bass player. There's some videos of me playing bass. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Let's drink. Watching a movie. And I might do a review on it. Because I'll remember it. So sometimes I was watching movies and I was like, oh, this is a good movie. I'm going to do a review on it. And then I couldn't say anything because I was like, the beginning's good. But I usually don't give spoilers, but I have more confidence talking about something if I've got a full remembrance of it, so I know I'm not giving spoilers. Anyway, enough about movies. Let's go. You go watch a movie. Not gonna watch mine with me. It's halfway through. You missed it. You missed the good stuff. I'll tell you about it in the review. What's it called? Here it is. Your Name. It's anime. It's been really good so far. I'm not going to tell you about it now. I'm not going to start the review. Bye.